Have you ever considered why the rate of giving up in life has continued to be so much in our modern world today? Have you ever wondered why there is so much wealth that is being generated each and every day, but people are still giving up in life? Do you ever wonder why the rates of suicide are plummeting every single year? Why is it that people who have come so far and then all of a sudden they feel they cannot continue anymore? What does the world have to offer? Do you feel the burden that is weighing down on you is so heavy? You're not alone. There are many, many people that are experiencing this. And there is usually a very simple but a very practical answer to some of these questions that sometimes they are very much overlooked. Why is it that there are about 92% of people giving up just before their success, and leaving about 8% of the people who can actually succeed in anything they're doing? I'm having a look at this today and heading to the home of the champions. So looking at some of the things, one of the places I love to go to is Champion Lakes. Champion Lakes is one of my favorite spots to go to. Let's have a look at this as we unfold as I am at Champion Lake today. Hello. We're here at Champions Lake at the moment. It's very breezy today. It's been raining a lot, but it is a very good atmosphere to be in here with the kids. Very, very, very accommodative. We have barbecue places. We have places for people to be able to rest. And the atmosphere is actually very pleasant at the moment. You can hear birds going, and you can just see and feel the atmosphere is very good. So as we were saying before, one of the things that actually is very important to consider when it comes to giving up is to learn to take one day at a time. This sounds very easy and very cliche, but learning to take a day at a time is so important because you're not cluttering everything together. You're learning to walk a step at a time, which is very important even as we're teaching our children to learn to take a step at a time. And in a place where you want to come and be able to excel more than the rest, you need to learn to be able to take how much you can be able to accommodate on your plate. You cannot underestimate the importance of having a vision in our lives. Visions help us carry a lot of things as we moving ahead in this world. Therefore, whatever it is that you have in your heart to accomplish, always make sure that you give a chance for you to be able to carry it on. It is very easy to give up on some of the things that we want to accomplish in this world. But when you have a vision, something that is burning in your heart, do not give up on it. Don't give up, because you are yet to have generations to come ahead of you that will want to understand what is it that we were supposed to accomplish. What was our journey in this world? So do not give up on your vision. Many people will try and discourage you. Many people will try and put you down. But do not give up on what it is that is burning in your heart to accomplish. in whatever situation. Learn to make yourself better. Learn to improve yourself in everything that you want to try and do. Sometimes it comes with a price. Sometimes many people will leave you. But whatever it is that you want to accomplish and you know it's important and is burning in your spirit, always have a desire to want to accomplish it. And as I said, every single day, you take it at a time. It's actually a very beautiful day today here. As you can see, the water is just very still. There are ducks around also. Very, very good day today. Very relaxed. The weather is not hot, not too cold. The place is really, really, really very good today. I think I couldn't have picked a better day today. There are usually very many activities that go around here. As maybe you can see that there are many things, many places to rest. Also, just the cool atmosphere from the water. Considering there are homes around, just the cool atmosphere that blows and the breeze that comes from the water is amazing. And if you happen to be very blessed to have a home close by, it is such a blessing to be able to be here and be able to feel the atmosphere. So it is an absolutely beautiful day today, and I couldn't have asked for a better day to be here today. Talking about giving up, it is important to always remember that once you have your dream and vision, you help many, many people who are also wanting to grow in their lives. Many people do not want to live and stay where they are forever. There's always people who want to grow. Not giving up on your vision helps your personal growth too. You grow personally, and also the people around you grow. So you're not only impacting yourself, but also impacting other people. Not giving up on your vision helps you to achieve long-term goals. You have goals that you have set for yourself, family goals, personal goals, to keep making yourself better each and every day. So keep on making sure that as you going forward, you're improving yourself, as you're not giving up on your vision and dreams. Not giving up enhances your creativity and problem-solving skills. I can tell you, it is not easy to keep on going when everything else around you says you're not worth continuing. You keep on putting your foot on the pedal, even though you have no more strength left in you. It is not easy. Your skills are always improved. Your personal skills are always improved. And you become a better person each and every day. It generates greater sense of fulfillment. When you know that you have come from point A to point B with very, very minimal support and very, very minimal understanding of people that are around you, it becomes a greater sense of fulfillment that I can be able to do it. And you will be able to help many, many more people who are longing and wanting to do it as they continue in this life. Help build your legacy. Your legacy is that which you want to leave behind. And as I was saying, you keep teaching your children many, many things as you living in this world. Everything you do, everywhere you go, they're looking at you too and learning. And sometimes it's not easy because the discipline part of life becomes very hard to be able to, for the other kids to understand. But discipline is what actually helps us to grow in everything we do. Another thing is, don't be afraid to be alone. One of the very, very determining things is most people will give up because they feel that they're going to be alone in this world. And everybody around you will leave so that you can just be alone. But I can say that many people will go away from you. This is a fact. Those ones who eat at your table, those ones who are closer to you, most of them, when they see you wanting to take steps, wanting to be ahead, they will leave you, most of them. That is where you will see the most betrayal of people. And it is not easy. I remember when I was teaching my son to run. I come from a running culture way back where I come from, and we learn running from valleys and mountains. And it is not easy. I remember I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to try and teach my son to be able to run. And I was telling him there is a level that when you pass that level, you become a much more better runner, because that is the level of which you're tired and you are able to, if you break free of that tiredness, then you can be able to continue running as you just glide along. But you have to be persistent to be able to get through that level. And I used to bring him here at Champions League, just run on this track. And he became one of the best runners in his school. And he got the Champions Trophy. And I remember when I was coming with him, waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning, you could have seen him waking up. He was not very excited about it. But after the second week of waking up, it became his lifestyle. Why? Because he knew that there is something that he was striving for. Why? It would have been very easy for him to give up and not consider it as anything, but he didn't, because there was something that he really wanted to achieve, and he wanted to become a better person at the end of it. Do not give up. Keep going, and let the energy that is in you continue propelling you ahead. Those people who are around you will always want to fight you. They will always want to push you down, but don't give up. This is one of my favorite places when I come for a walk in the morning, and I enjoy a walk. I usually come for walks some of Monday or Tuesday, because other days I'm usually working. But I can say this is one of my favorite spots. And if you are visiting WA, yay! You're very welcome to be able to come to Champions Lake. It's an area that is still developing. It's still developing, and the houses are still being constructed each and every day. So they haven't finished. They're going in phases. They have finished the phase 1, they finished phase 2, and I think they're on the last phase at the moment. But the way it's set up is very, very good. The constructions keep going every single day. Even just last week I was here, I could have been able to see some of the houses that were being constructed, and the setting is very much complementing the water. Most of the houses close to the water section are 1 story up, so that you can be able to have a very good scenery, especially of the birds. You can see some of them just flying, and the breeze that is coming through. I'm sure if you live around and you open your doors in the morning or at 10, you can be able to feel a very good breeze coming through. And it's very encouraging, and you can probably hear the birds singing away as you go through. There are also spaces for children to have a swim. It's not everywhere. There are specific places for children. They can come and have a little swim. So if you have a family, I haven't brought my kids to swim, but we usually do barbecues at the place that we were at the back there. And we used to come very early in the morning, we do a barbecue, and then we have a walk, or we have a bike ride with the kids. It actually is a very good space for resting. Continuing with our discussion about why is it that people give up in life. Looking at the life that we are in today, everything seems to be going so fast. And it is true, sometimes you feel very much left behind. I do feel like that sometimes. But it's always good to remember that failing is part of success. For us to feel you have succeeded, failure is part of the journey. And it is very easy to want to take away failure and say it is not part of what I want to identify with. But some of the best successful business people actually failed and even became bankrupt in many occasions. But they kept going and they kept coming on. So failure does not mean that you cannot continue to go on. It simply means maybe you need to redirect yourself. It probably means you need to redirect your way of doing things. It might mean you need to take a step back or pause for a moment. But it definitely does not mean that you are unsuccessful. The more we learn to embrace failure, the much more we are to succeed in this life. So always remember, failure does not mean that we have been disqualified in this race. It actually means the opposite of it. So always remember, failure does not equal not being able to manage. I remember, like I was saying, I was bringing my son here to be able to practice. And the second week I brought him, because it's sort of tarmacked, it's red tarmac as you can see. The second time I brought him, he was running, but then his shoe got caught up and he fell and he hurt his knee. And I picked him up and I brushed him and I said, "Are you okay? You feel you want to continue?" He said, "No, Dad, I want to continue." And we actually finished the whole course, 5Ks. We finished it. So we used to come every morning and do 5Ks, but he finished it. Why? He would have just said, "I can't continue anymore." Or "I'm hurt, I don't feel I want to continue doing it." Or "I feel like I've failed. I've failed you, Dad." But he said, "No, I want to continue." He wouldn't have been a champion boy if he would have just given up. But it was very, very close. But he kept going. Just approaching one of the bridges at the moment. There are 2 bridges in this area. So as you can see, it says no jumping or diving from bridge. There used to be kids sometimes they would learn to jump. You know, it's very tempting always to want to jump over. I'm sure all of us have done these things when we were little. So that is the view from the bridge. Look at it. So that's the view. And you can see the estate from there. So if you can see, this area is still vacant. It hasn't been built yet. So the buildings start from there. And the ones that are in the middle seem to be much more 1 story up. These ones are just single units, which are still pretty much good. You can still be able to have a good scenery of the area once you're in this location. It's very breezy on top of the bridge. So this is the first bridge. As you can see, they put this barrier on when the children used to jump from here a lot. So that was just a safety precaution they put there. So when the boats are coming through, because this is a boating, canoeing place too. I remember when my kids were little, we used to come here and my wife used to be able to do the canoeing. We used to come very, very early in the morning. I know canoeing is one of the very, very hard discipline sport. You have to be very fit to be able to do it. But it's very enjoyable. Just coming around the corner to one of the spots where the kids can be able to swim. It's a very good and much more relaxed space too. You can see there's grass, so they go into the water. You can put your towel up. During summer, it's usually very warm enough to come and have a nice swim. Very good space. Very natural too. There are lots of ducks, and birds that are good here. Usually, yeah, we've come with the kids here and they've had a little bit of a swim here just a while ago. See the ducks relaxing here. Different breeds of ducks, very colorful. Just as we are continuing, it's always important to remember that in this walk of life, there are many things that we pick along as we journey in this life, and the burdens sometimes become too much heavy on us. Sometimes we need a mentor, somebody to be able to say, I've been here before, and I know the way out a little bit much more better. I can help you. We shouldn't be shy to be able to identify somebody who has been through the way before us. I think it's actually a very good thing. We are living in a world now where communication has become such a barrier that we have become so faceless that for me to communicate with you is through texting, or maybe through any social media that is there. But identifying a mentor, somebody who says, I have been here before, I can be able to help you, I can hold your hand as we walk through this life together. Yeah, thank you. There are many instances that we feel we can do better. But most of the times we find that because we haven't been on that road before, we find that we cannot be able to have the sustainability to continue. It's always better to have an extra pair of hands to say, keep on moving. You're going the right direction, keep on moving. Because when we get to a place where we find things are not the way we are used to, then that's when we feel that we cannot be able to continue anymore. And maybe the finish line was just around the corner. As I used to always tell my son, because we're coming to just a place where it is much more steeper here, I used to tell him, when you get to the steeper areas, you will find you'll use more energy because you're going up. But when you're going downhill, you should use lesser energy to continue running. But then sometimes if you didn't know how to handle it, or if you didn't know what to do, then it's very hard to continue going. Because in life we have mountains, we have valleys. And when we are down the valleys, we need to always remember that one time we'll be able to go up the mountains. And that's when we continue doing our preparations, because we can see what the valleys look like. And many people give up in life. And it's become one of the most devastating issues of our generation today. Because you hear a call and somebody says that there was somebody who was found somewhere in a house and they were unresponsive. And sometimes it really breaks somebody's heart. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can always hold up for each other. We can always try and advise each other every single day. It is not easy, but it's doable. Coming around the corner now again, there are many mothers who love to come and just enjoy the atmosphere of Champion Lake, because it's such a delightful atmosphere. And my wife used to bring the kids here, also pushing them in a pram. Gives you exercise, but also the breeze and the birds singing. It's just an absolutely great space to be in. You can see the mothers were coming around the corner with prams. It's just a delightful place to be able to get your kids, enjoy the place too, so it's good. I remember when I was in primary school, I did my first running race. It was a 200-meter race. Oh, the kids, I remember, it used to be during games time. They used to call it games time. So all the kids from year 4 all the way to year 7 always used to assemble in the field for games time. And that was my first race, a 200-meter. And I tell you, my heart was pumping. I didn't know if I was going to win it. I didn't know if I was going to lose it. Because when I looked around, the kids who were there, they were taller than me. I was actually the shortest kid in that group. And when we started running, and the teacher said, "On to your marks, set and go," I took off like lightning. And I won the race. I remember the kids coming around in my ear and picking me up and celebrating. And there is a question they asked me, "How did you beat your older brother?" And I said, "I don't know how I did it." I don't know how I did it. And I realized I was better than him in the long distance, 200, 400, and 800. But he always beat me in the 100. And that question was bothering me very much, because everybody was asking me, "How did you beat him?" It was so genuine. I did not know. That begged the question for me to try and understand. Yes, I was faster than him, but how am I going to continue to maintain the same standard? This is the second bridge. You can see how it is. So there is 2 water spaces on this one. There is the north facing and the south facing. So this side you can see, because this is an international rowing space, you can see where the flags are placed when the other people come, other countries come. And there is also this space, the southern facing, where you can also see there's much more natural surrounding area. There are buildings too in this place where food is also offered. When you come with your family to cheer, you can be able to buy some food. And I am sure there are temporary accommodations and storage too, so that those who's coming with their kayaks and other items, they can be able to store them here. And there is right in front of us is a place where those ones who are overseeing the races are stationed. They are announce the races, they are able to do everything that pertains to the races. So that is the inside, as you can see it. And as I was saying, I had to try and understand how am I going to continue to be on top and winning the races. I had to go to start practicing. There was a forest very close where I used to live. So I used to go there and practice. And I realized that every time I went to practice, I beat them with so much distance. Every time I continued practicing, I beat them with a little bit much more distance. So I realized the secret to my success was in the discipline that I put on the practice. That means for you to maintain the level where you are, you cannot be just content in where you are. You always have to continue striving for a little bit more, striving to learn a little bit more, striving to be better. And when people correct you, always learn to accept it in a good way, because correction is part of life. When we think that we are able to do everything on our own and not be corrected, then one of the major hurdles is recalling back to ourselves, and that is one of the things that can lead to failure. Have a cause to die for. I can say it is easy to look for a reason to live for, but having a reason and a cause to die for is not easy. But once you identify that this is a cause that I can die for, this is something that I can die for, the soldier will go in battle and fight, not because they are the best fighter, but because they have a reason and a cause to fight. If you do not have a reason and a better enough cause to die for something, you will not have the strength and the determination to want to continue to pull the journey. The more pull there is, the more reason, cause for something you can die for. I'm not talking about being a martyr. I'm talking about a reason to sustain you keeping going. I'm talking about the determination to keep you going. I'm talking about something that you know you can be able to say, I am going forward no matter what. And this is one of the reasons you will see people pushing themselves. This is why champions make themselves to be above the rest, because they are able to understand that the more they push themselves for a reason, for a cause, then they are able to continue sustaining where they are. Some people who have been champions for long, they keep the sustainability because they know that they can be able to deny themselves for a little bit more longer. So it is one of the reasons that we have to keep going. Sustainability. Have a cause to die for. If you do not have a reason enough cause to die for, then you will not have a reason enough cause to live. It is it's a paradox that is very hard sometimes to understand. So each and every day as you wake up, ask yourself, have I set a goal? Have I set myself a course? Can I be able to go through this day and accomplish what it is that I have wanted to accomplish for today? Even just one day, have I been able to achieve what it is that I wanted to achieve? If not, be able to set yourself goals that you can be able to achieve. Set yourself goals that are achievable. That is why you have to set yourself goals every single day. Long-term goals are good. Long-term goals are good, but the short-term goals are so important that we'll be able to determine your long-term goal. This is the finish line where the canoes or the dragon boats finish their race. You can see it's very straight right there, the straight course. When they are pedaling, they can be able to see if there are flags here, because I am where the finish line is. They can be able to see where the flags are. And on the side, there are also marked things to show how many meters that they have traveled, and they can be able to see, so they can gauge themselves as they are heading toward the finish line. Now, to be able to get to the finish line, you have to determine how much strength you need to have from one post to the other. Therefore, you need to know the determination of how you're going to pedal. It's a very, very disciplined sport, kayaking. You need to be very disciplined. It requires a lot of strength, especially in your arms. So the more determined you are, the more likely you are to be able to get to the finish line. It's not easy, and I don't think everybody gets to the finish line fast. There's only ever going to be one fast person who gets to the finish line. And our main thing in life is not always to be the first one, but always to just be able to finish. Just going to our final stretch now of the walk. Yay, we made it. 5K walk almost. There are two trucks here, usually the one for people walking or running truck, and there is the other one on the other side, if you can see it. That is usually for people who are riding their bikes. So this one is for walkers, and this one here is usually for those ones who are riding their bikes. And there is another one up here that is usually reserved, I think mainly. I'm not an authority on this one, but usually this one is just for cars and parking. Those ones who are coming for parking. Because sometimes there is not so much parking, but you can still use your car to come. The gate is way straight ahead on the other side, so you can still use your car to come through. But most of the times the gate is closed when there is no activities going. All these places and spaces, you can still exercise. As you can see, there is some stairs here. They are part of an exercise place. You can come and exercise going up and down the stairs. They'll burn your calories. As you are walking, you can come have a little bit of going up and down the stairs. They're not very steep, but nonetheless, they can still do the work. So sometimes just being where nature is a statement enough for you to realize there is a cause for you to be here and not to give up. Setting goals for yourselves every single day as you wake up, realizing that every single day that comes along is an opportunity that doesn't need to be wasted. And sometimes we might not feel we are doing much, but if we learn to set little goals every single day, then we realize even the little we are doing is a step every single day. So we're almost going to the finish line. We're going to do a bit of exercises at the end. Usually I do a bit of exercises at the end when I get there. I'm already puffing out. I haven't walked so fast because I've been taking the video, but usually I walk a little bit much more faster than what I'm doing today. So when we get at the end, it's already a gym on its own, so I don't have so much time to go to the gym, and maybe sometimes it saves money. I'm not knocking off gyms. Gyms are also spaces that are geared toward doing whatever they need to do, and people who are also trained. But sometimes to save your finances, you can come and have a 5K walk and still be able to burn calories and be able to do a couple of exercises. If you keep at it and be consistent, I think consistency is one of the things that many people lack. I know sometimes I struggle with it. I have to be honest on this one because of time and I'm being available. But the things that I need are actually here. So I have no excuse. And sometimes we make so many excuses that we don't need to. The space provides for what we need. But when we keep making excuses every single day, then we cannot be able to attain what it is that we want to attain. And when you feel every single day that you're not achieving anything, then sometimes you feel you have a reason to give up. But that's not the best option in life. We do not have time to just pause and unwind and see what is life going to offer. This is why I'm trying to be able to sometimes pause and unwind and see what is it that I am supposed to do. What goals have I set for myself that I haven't been able to follow through. And if I go back and see I didn't follow through this, I didn't follow through this, I try and pick it up. Studying, working, trying to balance children, and also trying to balance friendships is not easy, especially in the life we are living today. I'm an architect student, and it takes a long time to try and draw and try and do studies and try and do research. So sometimes it weighs very heavily, but we still always need to learn that the little goals we set for ourselves are achievable. This coming ahead is one of the boards for marking how one is progressing in their race. So it tells you how far I think you are to your finish line, so you can be able to know how far you are to your finish line. And sometimes most of the races, they have a guide that comes alongside. On this walk, actually, just on this walk, they're usually on a bike or a car, and they're able to tell them, to cheer them on and tell them, this is how far you are, this is how far you are, this is how far you are. Or they give them the strokes, the beat of the strokes, because when you're rowing, you go with the strokes. So those people are able to tell them this how far you are. I believe this is the final one to the finish line, 1,500 meters to the finish line. So when you see it, it's very clear when you're rowing, you can be able to see it. So it tells you how far you are to the finish line. And it can't be easier than that. But the only difference in life is we don't know how far we are to the finish line. How easy would it have been if you know how far you are to the finish line? That part of life is actually hidden from us. We cannot be able to know how far we are from the finish line. So it is very difficult to be able to determine how far we've come, we know, but how far it is to the finish line, we cannot be able to know. This is the reason I said that before, sometimes we need a mentor, somebody who has gone through that particular hurdle will tell you, this far I have come, this hurdle is manageable, and you can be able to go through it. Although it seems very difficult, you can be able to go through it because I have gone through it. And ahead of me is 2 more hurdles you can go through. And I am sure, the way I see it, you will struggle, yes, but you can be able to make it through the next 2 hurdles. And once you are there, you'll be able to find another person, another mentor who has gone through the other 2 hurdles that you're going to go through. And they'll be able to help you through. So life is a journey. And when we're going through it, we do not know how far we are to go. And sometimes we give up because we cannot be able to see the end. But there is someone who has already gone ahead of us and knows the road very, very clearly. And he can be able to cheer us on. And he can be able to tell us, I have been through this road. You are not alone. I am coming with you every single day. He tells us, you are not alone. And that is what we need in life. For us not to give up, we need that backing. We need that assurance as people to tell us, you are not alone. I have been through this. You can make it. And the more difficult it is, the more assurance we have in our spirits that us too can be able to make it, because others who have gone before us have been able to make it. So come out, be outdoors, be able to experience what it is that other people can be able to see and experience. There is a different kind of experience when you are outdoors. There is a different kind of feel. If you can be able to do not stay in the house consistently, come outdoors, have a good experience and see what it is that life is offering. Talk to people if you can. If the space is created for you to be able to talk to people, talk to people. Learn from other people. Learn the experiences that other people are going through. Learn the difficulties that other people are going through. That way you will know that where you are also, you can be able to make it. It's never an easy road. That many people have made it. Many people have successfully made it. Many people know how joy is attained in every day's work. So do not stay indoors only on your own. Get outdoors, meet people, and get to understand what it is that life offers. Just want to show you the races, how they are marked. I'm not sure if you can see it on the markings. Let me see. Yeah, can be able to see the races, how in front of us is where the starting is, and they come through. The last hurdle we saw there was about, it says, I think it's about 1,500 or 500 meters to the finish line. And then we're going now to be able to see the second hurdle to the finish line. Therefore, when they're rowing, they are actually able to see where they are going. There is a lot of breeze today. It's an open space. That's why there are also trees around, but you can be able to see the natural surrounding. And then there is a main road just on the other side, right this side. That's where the main road is. You can probably be able to hear the cars going. So and that's where the finish line is, where we were before. So you can see it from here. It looks miles away, but we were there before. So you can see that once if you have known where the finish line is, and you know the distance to where you are going, it really does make life much more easier. But life is not like that. It's completely different. You do not know and you have not seen your destination. But you have to keep going. That is the whole idea of not giving up. The reason I really enjoy this space is I can be able to come, and if I have a lot of things in my mind, I can be able to walk or run. I have been able to run here 30 kilometers. That's about 7 or 8 rounds, the 5 kilometers. And it's very much so you get to experience the ups and downs. There is a place where it's a little bit up, and there is a place like here, it's just very level. So you have all those experiences. As you're coming around the corners, you can be able to see. But despite the fact that you can't be able to talk to people, there are some people that you can meet and you still can be able to say hello. And it still does give you that sense of achievement. It does give you that sense of a wider scope and community sort of a sense. Because coming out, starting to get strides or getting your walk, you're able to see people, you're able to have a good atmosphere around you, and you're able also to see the natural surrounding. So there we are. It's telling us it's 1,000 meters. I think it's telling us to the start line. And I think it's telling us this other side is still 1,000 meters to the finish line. So it has both sides, as you can see. So thank you. We're almost going to the exercise area now. I do some exercises. Sometimes I'm out of form, but the exercises are important. I always try to make sure I do the exercises too. To be able to play soccer, throw frisbee, or just be able to play throw ball with the kids. And I used to come here with my son who play a bit of soccer, and I'll show him how to kick the ball. Life moments sometimes are good to be able to have some time for play. That is why I try and do this and to show that sometimes you pause and have a time to unwind and play. And sometimes that is what life is able to offer. That helps us to be able to throw away many things that are weighing us down when we get to have some time to throw a ball here, to throw a frisbee, or to just be free-spirited and be able to see what life is offering for us. I used to be able to coach my son's team, and they always were able to win because I love being able to teach and be able to pass on the skills that I've had from childhood, especially playing and running and being able to just be outdoors and enjoy what it is that there is. So one of the things that also is important is, as we are going about life, we should know to be able to put our tools down and just enjoy a moment of playing or enjoy a moment of pausing and just seeing what the natural environment is offering for us. Be outdoors, like I said before. This space here has been a very, very good space for us, especially with my kids growing up. When we were riding, I used to take some time, always come here, and my son would run around and just be able to get some of the energies down a little bit. of the exercises can be very challenging to do, but it's always necessary to try and do the exercises, although they're challenging. This is a sit and push one. It's a leg press. I gotta go leg presses. Very important. So you're going through life. Some of the things that we've been relying on tend to wear away, so we have to always continue to keep our bodies healthy and keep our bodies always focused on what we need to do. People don't think of the importance of it, but I believe it's very important. And all these are just outdoor things that can be done easily sometimes. The more we go through life, the more some of these things become harder to do. But when you have the chance to be able to do them, it's always good to go through them. Gives you accountability. It helps you to have resistance. And it gives you a much more focused life compared to sitting down and not doing anything at all. All these things are free to be able to come and participate. So we always try and do them. There's one here that is going up and down the steps. Maybe you can be able to see the steps. So they're very simple, but very effective. If you do them well, they can be very effective. Sometimes twice a week is enough to keep you off the gym if you don't have enough finances to do it. And it takes, you spend about 25 minutes on the exercise or 20 minutes, I'll probably say is enough. So before you have to keep going. There's one here that I'm not the biggest fan of. It's a twist, body twist. Suppose it's for the hips. Thank you for joining me today for Champions League. I believe it's been a journey to be able to go through and be able to see. It's always a very encouraging to know that even in this life, as we're walking through it, we're not alone. So just to recap today, live one day at a time. Remember, you cannot always have everything on one plate at the same time. So live one day at a time and always be able to give space for yourself to understand what is coming up next. Don't give up on your vision or dream. It's important to always keep your vision and dream very fresh every time. There are people who want to discourage you. There are people who want to push you down. Always keep your dream and vision fresh every day. And don't let anyone take it from you. Always continue to understand what it is that you need to do, and always cultivate an environment that your dream and vision is going to thrive. Don't be afraid to be alone. This one is a very very lively and very active in our day. In our modern day, many people feel that sometimes you cannot be alone. You always have to have likes. You always have to have people commending you. Sometimes quiet times are also good times. Failing is part of success. Don't be afraid to fail. Some of the most successful instances in my life is where I actually failed in something and then I picked myself up to continue. I find that I have much more experience and I have much more sustainability power to continue because I have an idea of what I'm doing. Mentorship is important. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Be out there, ask for anybody who is willing to come on board your life and be able to walk you through. It's always important to know that you can be able to ask for help. And if there is somebody that you can be able to follow and read about and understand why they did what they did, it's knowledge that is important for you to continue to propel you forward. Have a cause to die for. Push yourself, have a cause to die for, have a reason, a firm enough reason to continue propelling you forward. Have a firm enough reason to wake up in the morning to face the challenges of the day. Have an enough reason that if somebody were to tell you this is the end of it, you say, I have done the best I can do with what I have. This is fine. There is not a problem. I can be able to stop here. But you have to have a fine enough reason to keep moving no matter what. If you don't, then it's very easy for you to fall on the way. Thank you very much for watching.